What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Sentinel Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Peter B. Parker SV action figure. Now this is the deluxe set that comes with the ridiculously huge base. I didn't need this, but I got it. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, starting off with that sexy packaging. Now, first off, this box is absolutely too damn big. Like, I don't know. I really don't like this. It's not collector friendly. I didn't really care for the base, but it's something they decided to throw in. Obviously, there is a version without it, but a lot of collectors didn't know about that, and so we ended up getting stuck with this version. But anyway, onto the packaging. As you can see, you got a small window right here where you can see the figure. It says S Action or SV Action Peter B. Parker, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Marvel, yada yada yada. Image of him right there. You don't really have anything going on at the top. It just says Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I just hit my tripod. But yeah, nothing much going on at the bottom. A bunch of legal stuff. And on the sides, you've got some cool images of the figure. I really like this, where he's sitting down, relaxing on top of the base. Some more images along the sides. You got an image of him upside down right here. It fits that color scheme and that movie look of Into the Spider-Verse, so I really dig that. And then on this side, you've got even more images of him. So the box is really dope. I love the look of this, but that's not what we came here to see. So let's go ahead and bust this figure open so we can see what he is all about. Now, straight out of the packaging, honestly, at this point, what can I say about this figure that hasn't already been said? This thing looks great. And if you already have the Sentinel Miles and you know that's a great figure, then you probably already know what to expect from this one. It's just a good, not only good looking figure, but a good feeling figure. Like, I really enjoy this. They have that art style down completely. Like, they really nailed it. And this is it. The only issue I have really so far is I feel like the gut isn't as big as it should be, because this almost looks like it still could be Peter Parker instead of Peter B. Parker, just because, like, I feel like his gut should stick out just a tad bit more. But that's not really a gripe of mine, because honestly, I already knew I was going to interchange it and use the slimmer gut and just keep it as a Peter B or a Peter Parker instead of Peter B, and I was going to enjoy it that way. So this doesn't bother me. It could bother some people, but either way, this thing looks nice, man. I really love this. I wish the line work was a little bit better. Like, there was more blacks. Like, it kind of looks like the line work is faded on the costume. But even that, just based on the art style, you still could call this accurate. Now, I don't remember too much because, like I said, I've only seen this movie one time and I never revisited it. But the hands and things, like, they really did capture that crazy style. Even the head sculpts and body proportions, like the really slim legs, slim arms. This just looks like a really tall, slender Spider-Man, and I really enjoy that. It's just something to break it up from the Mafex figures that we've gotten. And so I really do like this a lot. But anyway, let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands. Now, to the top of his head, Peter B. Parker is just shy of 6.5 inches, which I think is very fitting. He's going to fit in very well with all of the other Sentinel figures, and also if you're collecting the Mafex versions, he'll fit in with them as well. Moving on to the articulation, he looks up completely, so you can totally get this guy free falling during some web swinging. You can get him looking up, whatever you want him to do. He can be looking at Kingpin and it's going to work just fine. Tilts his head all the way down. Chin is touching the chest. He does get really good tilt and turn, so you can get some expression out of him if you want to. Head cocked to the side out of confusion, whatever you want to do. Now, I know some people don't like these shoulders, but I feel like they work well enough. The gapping in them, that's up to you, really. I got used to it with Miles, so it doesn't bother me. My only wish is that you could get the arms to go up a little bit more without having to turn the shoulder and then showing that inside, but I still think it's fine. And then in terms of bringing the arms in, you can bring them all the way in for those web slinging poses. And that's partially where this gap does come in handy. So it's not an actual butterfly joint, but it works as one. You do get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bring all all the way in, so you can get his hands behind his head if you want to. The hands are on a pretty long hinge, and it seems like it's pretty durable as well, so it doesn't seem like one of these where you have to worry about it breaking. They pop on and off just fine. In terms of the diaphragm, he leans back completely. Actually, it popped off because I was going a little too hard. But yeah, he leans back completely. Just got to watch out for that gap right there. He leans forward just fine. Leans even more when you use the waist. Leans back even more when you use the waist. He does get turn at the waist. He does get turn at the diaphragm. So upper body movement is dang near perfect. He kicks out about that much. Let's see. I think he's got the drop down leg method. But he can give an enemy the boot completely. He can do the splits just fine. He does have a light thigh swivel. Actually, nah. He has a pretty good thigh swivel. That works very, very well. It feels a little tight, so be careful with it. In terms of the knees, double jointed. They bend all the way in, and that's what that gap right there is for. Honestly, I'd be fine if they didn't have that, but still, if you want to get Spider-Man in a crouching pose, you can totally do it. So it does work. In terms of the foot, it goes down about that much, up about that much. Really good ankle rocker, like very, very good ankle rocker. And then he does have a toe hinge as well. So articulation-wise, they killed it with this guy, man. Straight up solid 10 out of 10. Anything you want to do with a Spider-Man figure, you can totally do it with this guy, no problem. Now, if you already think this figure is good, then it's just going to get better for you. If you haven't already seen the Sentinel Miles review, then I'm going to tell you, man, Sentinel really goes all the way in with accessories. First off, we get this neutral head sculpt on the figure right out of the packaging. He comes with a pair of basically relaxed hands. He comes with a pair of fist hands, which this is another issue I have because it kind of like, if you look at these, they don't look like actual fist hands. They look like kind of like web holding hands, or like they didn't sculpt a hole for the webs to be held. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the hands that are meant for holding the webs, they kind of look the exact same. They have the index finger kind of pointed out a little bit, and then you just stick a web in there. And so either way, they still work, but I wish they would have been like genuine, like closed fist hands versus like kind of like this, you know, fist hand like this and not like this. Either way, it's still cool that they did like throw in a pair of closed fist hands. So I'm not going to complain about that. He comes with a pair of stylish palm hands. I guess you could use these for wall crawling if you wanted them to. And once again, they really nailed that big like hand style that they had in the show or in the movie. I don't know why they were drawn that way, but they just really had a crazy style to them, and they really nailed it. That's one thing I really like. They did a great job with that on Miles as well. He comes with a pair of web shooter hands, and these webs are not meant to come off. These look really, really good, by the way. I know I keep saying that, but seriously, these hands look so good. He comes with a hand for holding his cup of coffee. No coffee in there, of course, but still glad that they threw that in. And then he comes with a pair of ungloved hands, which this one is for obviously holding something. I don't know what, but yeah, this hand is for holding like a cheeseburger or something. I don't know. But yeah, and then he comes with this hand where it kind of looks like he was getting ready to flick someone off, and he's not finished doing it yet. But yeah, he comes with this. This is like weird choices, but I don't know. It's interesting that they went with these choices. He does come with a pair of glasses, which this makes me happy. I love that they included these. So many accessories, man. I'm all over the place, I know. But he comes with several head sculpts. He comes with a Peter Parker head sculpt, which I love a lot. You got the blue eyes, the blonde hair. And I thought it was a smirk, but he's actually showing his teeth a bit. So I like that. These are painted so freaking good, man. Then he comes with these two Peter B. Parker head sculpts. He has one where he's kind of looking to the side like, whoa, what are you talking about? Then he's got another one where he's like, ooh. And these are like both weird expressions, which once again, they can be used for anything. I do wish that they would have given us a neutral head sculpt But I'm actually going to mod this one. This is the one that comes with the Marvel Legends. As you guys can see, they're about the same size. The 5 o'clock shadow is obviously a little bit better on this one. But this is actually a really great head sculpt. So I'm going to mod it to where I can use it with this figure. And if you want to see what it looks like in there, there you go. But yeah, I'm glad that he came with several crazy head sculpts. He comes with... oh, what is that? Head sculpt? Or, oh no, Kingpin. Whatever you want to use it for. I like this a lot. This is one I'm going to have a ton of fun with, for sure. He comes with a set of abs, which, like I said, if you look at the two of these, you can see the difference, really. Like, I guess because of the way I have it posed. Like, let's stand him up a little bit. As you guys can see, like, it still can look like my man has abs. You just got to stick this out and then stick his chest up, and that's when you'll see the gut. I didn't mention that earlier, but that's how you get the gut out of him. But yeah, either way, I like this. The set of abs is great. I'm so glad that they included this interchangeable piece, and then an interchangeable crotch piece as well for when you use this torso instead of that one. So that is awesome that they threw that in there. And that's still not it. He comes with 2 different sets of webs, and I'm only going to show one, but just know he comes with 2 of each. He comes with this, which I think is so freaking dope, man. This I like a lot. And basically what you do is you just slide it into this hand, and you can use it for whenever he's pulling something or whatever you want to use it for. This is dope. This is probably my favorite accessory that he comes with. I like this so freaking much. And then you just kind of wiggle that out of there. And then he comes with another one, which is just basically him web slinging. And same thing, you just kind of slide that in there. And the webs are basic looking, but as you can see, there's some sculpt to them to make them look like Spider-Man webs. I don't feel like they have to be a certain way because we have so many Spider-Man figures already. I think there's been like 5 or 6 that have released in January of 2022, and maybe some of them released right at the end of December. But we've got a ton of Spider-Man figures, so I'm not about to complain. And lastly, for the first segment, I'm going to do 2. He comes with this crazy base, which I think actually looks pretty cool. I'm not going to use this, but I do like this base a lot. I don't remember if Miles came with one, but that looks nice. So yeah, that's it for the first part. Now let's go ahead and show off the big accessory that he comes with. And that is this big base. And this thing is like crazy, man. I don't know what made them decide to throw this in. Like, it's cool and all, but I think the majority of collectors would probably be like, I don't need this. But that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's just like a random choice. Part of me is like, maybe they made this to make the figure more expensive. And then part of me probably thinks that they did this as a market move because look what they did. They have this piece right here where I guess you pull this out and you can plug it on your wall or something. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe you just plug it in that hole right there. I don't know. But I think this was a marketing scheme and seems to be successful because a lot of people are picking this figure up. And even if you didn't get it with this, it's still worth getting. But standing him next to it, as you can see, this thing it's pretty big. I'll show it at this angle as well. Compared to him, like this thing is huge. And what's crazy is it even came in its own separate box in the back of the box. So very, very glad that they included this. I'm going to take some shots and enjoy this thing. But this is something I'm going to hook up my boy X Manny with. X Manny, bro, you are really going to enjoy this thing for sure, bro. I can assure you. And another thing I did want to show off is what the Marvel Legends head sculpt looks like on this body. Just in case you want to get away from these and you're trying to decide for a neutral head, this is a really good look. Of course, it's not going to fit on there properly. It just kind of sits on there. You can use blue tack if you want to, or you can use the hot glue method if you want to get it to, or basically if you want to mod it, which that's what I'm planning on doing. But either way, I do like this a lot. I think this really works well for just like a neutral expression for him. And it kind of makes me want to do the same thing with Miles. Now getting into the size comparisons. Here he is standing next to the Spider family. Well, some of them. We have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Prowler. We do have the Sentinel Miles Morales. We have the Mafex Spider-Gwen and Spider-Ham. And then we have the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 2099. Real ones know why I put him in there. And I don't know what happened to my Spider-Man Noir from Marvel Legends. I think I put it in a bin somewhere. But if I find it, there might be some pictures at the end of the video. I don't know if I'll do those or not. But yeah, these all look really good together. Moving on to some Marvel Legends. Here he is standing next to the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Symbiote Spider-Man, which mine just broke on me recently, but I do have a second one incoming. We have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Scarlet Spidey, and I believe this is from the Build-A-Figure Rhino Wave. And then we have the Marvel Legends PS4/PS5 Gamerverse Miles Morales, which is still one of my favorite figures. I need a second one of these ASAP. Now, if you're like me and you're fine with getting crazy with this figure, you should know that Spider-Man did just release in Fortnite, meaning you have endless options when it comes to having fun with it. So I decided to show him next to some Fortnite figures. Here we have the Jazzwares Agent Peely with his little evil face on. I love this so much. We have him standing next to the Hasbro Victory Royal Series Fortnite Lynx, and then we also have Chaos Agent from the same line, and I love all of these figures. And lastly, for some extras, it's only right that I throw in a Mafex Spider-Man. This is him with the, I don't know if you want to call it the McFarlane or the Bagley head sculpt on the body, but either way, it's one of those styles. We do have the SHF Infinity War Black Panther, and of course the DC Icons Nightwing, just for the heck of it. Now, for my final thoughts on this figure, honestly, I don't feel like I have to say it because most people have probably already seen reviews and they've made up their mind on whether they want this or not. I've only seen D Amazing's review. I haven't seen anyone else's. I will be checking those out, but just me having my own experience with this figure, if you haven't made up your mind on whether you want it, and if my review is what's going to help you make your decision, I'm going to tell you right now, get it. This figure is absolutely worth it, man. This thing is just nice. Like, I don't know if any of you guys saw my top 10 video of 2021, but if you haven't, you should know that Miles Morales was on that list somewhere. And at this point, I truly believe this figure will probably be on my list for 2022. It's just so good, man. I can't explain it. Like, something about the way these Sentinel figures feel just make them so enjoyable. And also, if you are a fan of this movie, which I know a lot of people are, I wasn't even the biggest fan of it, but having them all together makes it so much better, which is why I have this display right here showcasing these two who are not included. But that's why I have these all together right here, just showing you guys how good these figures are together. They're just super freaking sick. And honestly, man, I don't know. I don't recommend passing on this one for anyone. If you haven't gotten your pre-order in or you haven't bought this figure, I'm telling you right now, go get it. Now, one thing I do want to mention, just because I don't remember if it was covered in D Amazing's review, not saying that he didn't, I really just don't remember. I've seen a ton of reviews since then, but there's an image on the back of the box and a promo image of Peter B. Parker holding a newspaper, and the newspaper actually doesn't come in the box. I was looking for it, and I was like, what's going on? So I checked the instructions, and it's actually on this page right here, page 3 of the instructions. You have several newspapers. You're actually supposed to cut these out, and those are what you use, and it gives you those instructions on page 2. Right here it says, please cut copy from page 3 and 4, and that's how you get your newspaper. So for the people that don't know, that is how you get that. I just wanted to make sure to cover it so that all you guys were aware in case it wasn't in any other reviews. So that's just me letting you guys know. Anyway, that being said, this is my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because that always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye. Go get this figure. Now, I was posing this guy around getting ready to shoot the thumbnail when I realized I forgot to cover one thing in this video. If you had the Miles Morales figure, or if you have it, then you know this figure actually doesn't have a hinge at the hand. You pretty much just plug the hand in and all you can do with it is rotate it. You don't really get any extra movement out of it. But they did fix that issue with this Peter B. It does have a hinge on the hand, so you can move the hand up, down, left, right, all that good stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure to throw that in there for you guys because I didn't want to leave it out. Anyway, okay, bye.